we do come across a lot of candidates who are always selling to us. I know this, I know that, I know that. Come on, bro, like you have 2 years of work ex. How are you telling me that you know everything? If you know everything, then you go start your own company, no? So the thing is, we can't be sold things inside our own company. We need to be intellectually honest so that we have the best solutions, we have the best product from our side.
Yes.
And we can only sell to customers, we can't sell to teammates.
Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing good. This is the third episode of our Looking Beyond FAANG Companies series. In this series, we talk to founders and tech leaders who took the leap of starting their own companies after working in the tech industry for some time. We'll deep dive into various aspects of their lives. What is special about this? Well, we are going to be featuring founders whose startups are on the brink of shaking things up in the future. So this series is filled with unfiltered advice. So do make sure that you watch it till the end. But before moving forward, take a moment to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you're always notified on all our upcoming videos. Now, without wasting any more time, let's jump into the session. Today we have Vidya with us. Vidya is the founder and CEO of a startup called Schmooze. Schmooze is a dating platform. It has been 2 years now that she's been running it. The company is based out of the US, but recently they have also launched it in India as well. To know more about it in detail, how it all got started, how was the experience so far, let's welcome Vidya. Thank you, Vidya, for taking out time to do this with us. Can you quickly introduce yourself for our viewers?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I think thanks for this introduction, Shivani. So I hope Schmooze is at the forefront of disrupting the way at least online dating is, in the tech space. So quick intro about myself. Vidya, founder of Schmooze, as Shivani mentioned. Before that, I've dabbled around in consulting. I used to work at McKinsey and then was working at 1MG where I headed growth. Before going to Stanford, where I went for my business school. And it's while at Stanford that came up with the idea of Schmooze and launched it there, and we started going viral. So you can take you can't take memes away from Indians, right? So whether you are in US or in India, WhatsApp forwards and scrolling through so much of content, I think, has become so pervasive amongst all of us in India that I think that's how we had the idea of Schmooze also.
Okay. Thank you for the introduction, Vidya. So when I talk about this whole dating platform field, it is mostly male dominated, right? The only female founder that I know of is Bumble co-founder Whitney, right? So have you gained any sort of inspiration from her, or like what exactly are you trying to do differently with Schmooze that has not been done before? Can you talk about Schmooze as a brand a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So Schmooze is a very, very different and very unique product to exist out there in the online dating space. We don't like to compare ourselves with any other dating app that exists, for the simple reason about what the product is, what we stand for, and how it works. If you imagine the history of online dating, okay, be it like Match.com back in the day in US, or even your Jeevan Sati, Shadi.coms of India. From that, the Tinder, Bumble, Hinge of today, online dating, forget whether we're talking about apps or websites, has always been about a profile and a photo.
Yes.
Right? And that is what we are changing at Schmooze at the core. We are saying, you look at one boring photo. You look at a photo and then you look at a boring profile. And then you're going to decide to meet someone based on that. Basically, it's resume, right? And
yes.
How much can you decide? Like if a person, let's say on Bumble, has a very witty bio, or he can be a great copywriter. That doesn't say anything about are you likely to vibe with them or not. So we are saying that so that's where for the first time in the dating industry as a whole in the world, Schmooze is shaking this concept of how matches are made.
Yes.
And we are saying we'll put compatibility first. We are not talking about, that one girl who will get 2000 matches. Or I'm sure you can relate to this, right? Like all guys go like matches hi nahi hai. And all the girls will go like, where are all the good guys? How is that possible? So we feel that fundamentally no company wants to solve this problem. Products exist, they make money. How is it that, if I pay for subscription or premium of a particular app, then I get better matches than if I don't pay for it? So you're fundamentally like cheating me, no?
Yes.
Then you say that I want everyone to pay. So that's what Schmooze is here to change. At the core of it, Schmooze is a compatibility sort of a product. What you do, we feel that dating is boring and stressful, and we want to change that. We want to be the opposite of that, right? So how could we change that? We said, oh, the opposite of boring and stressful is actually memes and sense of humor. And all spend hours and hours together on Instagram every day. Scrolling what? Memes. And you know what? Memes are so powerful that based on the memes you like, I can understand so much about what type of a person you are. Do you like politics? Do you like history? Do you like maths? Do you like cricket? No.
Yes.
Do you like fashion? I can understand that also, right? Are you into Met Gala and like random Bollywood gossip? I'll understand that also by looking at the memes you swipe. Or are you into dark content? Do you love NSFW stuff? So whatever your type is, it's very possible to deduce that very well using the memes you swipe. And based on that, I will find you someone who's compatible with you. I will not give you thousands of matches which are useless. I will give you 10 matches that you are likely to vibe with. So that's what we do at Schmooze. And very excited to see, we've already had good number of people who started dating each other. Like it's just been 6 weeks since our launch here in India. And someone in our team is dating a user, a Schmooze user. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so that's fair, Vidya. So now my next question would be, so you guys have already launched in the US, right? And it's been 2 years that you had already been in the US. So can you tell us like how did you go about actually deciding what marketing tactic you're going to use for Schmooze, and exactly basically about how did you decide on the target audience and what all input that you got from the US first?
Sure. So I think if I have to understand your question correctly, you're asking me how did we decide what we should do in India, and anything that we've done before, how did it inform it, right?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you have been running it in the US for the 2 years now, right? So how did you go about first starting finding out what will work in the US and all that? You can just share.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So see, I mean, in fact, after this call, we actually have a growth meeting where see, this is a never-ending process. It's a very iterative loop of, you come up with few ideas of idea, strategy, whatever. Of these are the 3 to 5 things we want to check. And then we keep looking at them, reviewing them once in 3 days, once in a week, based on what that lever is and see like how does it go. But if I have to go back to literally our first day in US, this is before... I remember my co-founder Abhinav and I were on a Zoom call. We had I think 92 users at that point, and Abhinav and I were waiting. We said, I'll go to bed. It was like I was in US, so it was night time for me. I said I'll go to bed only when we cross 100 users, and we waited 4 hours on that Zoom call to cross, to add 8 users to the app. So even on that day, from that day to like when we went viral, we've tried literally everything. And that's what early stage is all about. Like you just hustle and do everything, from putting up posters in rooms of different students to actually have like meme competitions, try to publicize that, say like, oh, you can enter this meme competition if you join Schmooze, if you download, join Schmooze, swipe some memes, then you can participate in this. That way you're hoping that people will hear about us. If they're excited enough, they swipe a little more trying to lobby around with a few friends and say like, hey, your fraternity is throwing a party, can you make Schmooze as the entry ticket to this? And like, I have no money to pay, so yari dosti mein kar lena types, can you just help us do something to something that we then later on started doing was every college has its college newsletter. So we would just try and get our name out there because meme-based dating is just so cool. And
Hmm.
a couple of years back, during COVID, people also wanted to get out of this loneliness. No one was
Hmm.
meeting anyone. So meme-based dating itself sounded very cool to most people. So they would write about us.
Hmm.
Uh, Hired campus ambassadors to spread the word. So did so many different things. Worked with, influencers was still not a very big thing. Um,
Yes.
it's a very relatively new concept, right?
Yes.
So what we started doing, and I think we made a lot of use of influencers not being a big thing back in the day.
Hmm.
When I used to reach out to all these people who made college videos, like, oh, day in the life of a student at Stanford, or how did I get into NYU, these type of videos, and just ask those students, would you create a video about us, our
Hmm.
journey of building Schmooze, or anything that you found interesting, like just give
Hmm.
us 20 seconds worth of time in your YouTube or TikTok. So that's how those are a bunch of things that we started off with
Okay.
initially. And as we did India, to answer the
Hmm.
second part of your question, of course we were way more informed. We
Hmm.
knew what sticks, what doesn't stick. Of course,
Hmm.
I'm not going to say that whatever we did in US can be translated to India. Very, very different markets,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
very different behaviors, right? Like, I can't, there are no fraternity parties that happen in India.
Yes.
Firstly, there are no legal parties. Like,
Hmm.
there is no legal way of partying as college students
Yes.
to,
Hmm.
organized partying. So things are different there, but 2 3 things that we did was, created a long list of growth activities.
Okay.
From, hey, can I create, I know I'm saying this on a recorded video, but can I create fake profiles on Hinge and Bumble which talks about schmooze? Very simple, right? Like,
Okay.
I have 11 people sitting in front of me. There are 11 phones. We can
Hmm.
create 11 fake profiles. And
Hmm.
this is just the impression. Like, if those profiles exist out there,
Hmm.
even if one profile is seen by 100 people on one day, I have
Hmm.
1100 views. Why
Hmm.
should I run ads to get 1100 views when I can get this? Right. So while doing India, basically we created a laundry list of many such ideas. We
Okay.
broke it down by things that we 100% know works. Simple
Hmm.
example is ads.
Hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Second, which we thought were experimental but high impact. Third, experimental but low impact. Like, this creating fake profiles on dating apps is experimental but low impact. Like, only
Hmm.
110, 1100 views a day. Not a
Hmm.
lot. But experimental high impact could be, we started creating posters and started slipping it under different rooms of people in stanzas.
Hmm.
So each of this, our approach has always been like land and expand. So we always have a list of at least 10 things that we have ongoing.
Okay.
If they work, and I check for 3 things. The first is messaging,
Okay.
right? Like, what kind of messaging, what kind of branding do I do?
Hmm.
Second is operations, and the third
Hmm.
is channel. I'll tell you what I mean by this, right? Let's say
Hmm.
I have to do this stanza poster wala experiment.
Okay.
Okay, and the first, by messaging, I mean what goes on the poster. So
Okay.
the first campaign we ran was USA's coolest dating app now in India.
Hmm.
Download now. The second
Hmm.
experiment we ran was, we said scan for a laugh. Nothing about schmooze, nothing about dating. Just scan for a laugh. हंसना है तो download कर, मतलब scan करो.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
So that's messaging. We are trying to see what is working.
Hmm.
The second is, as I said, operational execution. If
Hmm.
I pay someone and I say, अच्छा stanza में posters डाल दो, अब
Hmm.
मुझे, I will always have that doubt where these posters even send, not send, what happened.
Hmm.
If someone posts on a Friday evening, chances are very high that most of these people have not woken up by the time, the stanza housekeeping has come and cleaned these posters away. So
Yes.
that's what I mean by having a tight operational execution. If both of these are done, then I would
Hmm.
check what's the result on that channel. Do I actually have good number of installs? Do I have good retention from these installs
Hmm.
coming for schools? If yes, then I will try to scale it. Then I'll say, okay, you know what? I tried in 2 stanzas, but you know what? There are 135 stanza in
Hmm.
Bangalore city.
Hmm.
So that's like thousands of people. And why just Tanzania? Do Olive, do whatever, settle. There are so many co-living spaces. So that's my long answer for marketing strategies. But we just became very smarter around how we break this down into, experiments and then scaling them.
Okay, that's fair, Vidya. So next question that I would like to ask, because you have been running it for like 2+ years now, you must have incorporated the feedback that you get from the users that were based in the US, and now that you have been running it in the India as well. So can you tell, like, obviously you must have pivoted a little bit. So what all feedback and user inputs you have incorporated in the whole product of yours, and how much of a difference there is between the youth in the US and in the Indian market?
Yeah, I love answering this question, Shivani, because yes, Indian consumers are different from American consumers. So, couple of things that we've done. First things first, I have to say India is the biggest meme country I've ever known.
Yes.
And amazing how people understood how Schmooze works. Like, so we have a small, I don't know if you've ever checked out the Schmooze app. If you have not, check it out. So on the chat section, I have something called Schmooze Boo. Okay, that people can message to. And Schmooze Boo is actually, like, it used to be me back in the day responding. Now we have like more people who respond, but it's not a bot. Anyone can ask anything, say anything. Like, we get messages like "I love Schmooze." We get messages like "Bitch, please." We get messages like "How does this app work?" Right? So we have a broad, and people don't know it's us on the other side. So just like online behavior. Now the thing is, most of the people in US, when we had originally launched, reached out on that thing saying, "How does this thing work?"
Okay.
We had onboarding screens and whatever. We tried to simplify it. We said, you know what, ditch onboarding things. We will actually have videos. So we actually have a teammate of ours explain, like, you'll see a video, which is a very rare thing for any app. Forget dating app. Very rare for any app to have one human being explain this is how the product works. But Americans kept asking us, how does this work? They're confirming with us. Indians, I have had no person messaging on that and ask, how does this work? And I love how they have assimilated the words schmooze or snooze in their lingo. Some users, they reach out us, they go like, oh, I wanted to schmooze this guy, but by mistake I snoozed him. Can you like reverse him for me? And I'm like, wow, you caught on to this lingo so well. With Americans, we had some of those difficulties with, if I said schmooze or snooze, they would get confused, and I had to use words like yes or no to explain it to them. And like in brackets, I used to write yes equals schmooze, no equals snooze. And of course, with time, people understood. Like, it took that initial bit of education, but it's amazing to see how well Indians have understood. So that's why I started this by saying India is a meme country. Schmooze is a product made for Indians. So no doubt about it. The second thing, like the insight is, so when we started in US, we used to allow infinite swiping of memes.
Okay.
So we have this infinite bank of memes, and you can keep swiping. Now, obviously, like, how many memes will someone swipe on an average? There's a limit to that, right? But there you will be surprised. There are some people who swipe like 5,000-6,000 memes in a week also. Now, cut to India. Before we launched, and I'm sure, Shivani, you also on an average will be consuming at least 100 memes a day. You just might not realize it. It's a huge number, but it takes about like 5 seconds to see a meme. Let's finish this very quickly. Now the thing is, before launching in India, we did extensive beta tests because we had the same apprehensions about how different an Indian consumer is as compared to an American consumer. So we said, we gave the same infinite meme thing, and these Indians, as I started with meme country, and they game every product you give them, so they just started swiping infinitely. And see, 2 or 3 people swiping infinitely on a base of 1,000 is okay, but having 50% of your beta cohort continuously swiping, we were like, पागल हो गए हो क्या? मतलब अभी हजारों memes हम हर रोज इतने सारे कहाँ से लाएंगे? And every day, like, we can have a database of many thousands of memes. So
Hmm.
and then the problem with this, if I have to explain it to you in like a minute, first problem, freshness and quality of memes. I
Hmm.
can do 10,000s of memes, but they'll not be all fun.
Yes.
Second, they have to be relevant and fresh. On a
Yes.
particular day, like let's say there are 10 newsworthy things happening in the world. Kanye West said something, there is Israel, whatever war, there are some
Hmm.
Biden fell down somewhere, whatever. There are just some 10 uh, meme worthy things. So
Hmm.
out of 10 headlines, I can create 100 memes. I can't
Hmm.
create 10,000 memes, right? So
Yes.
when we saw that Indians were just swiping, we put a cap. So today on Schmooze, you can only swipe on 200 memes.
Okay.
Or if you want to swipe more, we put a paid blocker.
Okay.
If you want, so that people don't take advantage of infinite swipe. We
Hmm.
just want to keep the bad actors out. Now, if you genuinely want to see memes, then you
Hmm.
swipe 200 more. It's like we charge very nominal amount, 29 rupees for extra
Okay.
memes. Right? Otherwise, wait till 12 o'clock. You'll we'll refresh the meme. So that's how.
Have you
Uh,
like created a subscription model for this? Like you get to subscribe to this like by $29 and then you.
yeah. So 29 rupees. So we have both this a la carte sort of. You can just pay for memes. You can just say 29 memes. Sorry, 29 rupees. Give me 400 memes today instead of 200.
Hmm.
Or whatever. Basically give me more memes today. Or
Hmm.
you can get subscription which gives you 2x memes every day.
Hmm.
Subscription is also very nominally priced, like 99 rupees a week.
Hmm.
And then you have like monthly and lifetime. So yeah, that's what we do now.
Okay, that's great, Vidya. So my next question is basically about. So if I talk about the problem statement that Schmooze is trying to solve, is to get two people to meet on the compatibility basis, and I think meme is like the thing for our generation, right? So ultimately, if I talk about it from the business owner standpoint, and if you want two people to meet, you would want eventually, like it will happen that eventually there will be less engagement of the app, right? Because you
Hmm.
have achieved
Yeah.
the outcome that you wanted. So how do you deal with this problem statement that for a business owner, like for this thing to work, success means potentially less engagement for you, right? So then how do you cope up with this irony that you have?
No, sure. It's a great question, Shivani. And you might remember just like 10 minutes back, I was talking
Hmm.
about why this creates vested interest for many dating companies to
Hmm.
want to keep their people on the app for a really long time. They don't give you the good matches. They
Yes.
don't give you your compatible matches. But at Schmooze, see Shivani, we have some core values.
Hmm.
This is not like 5 mugged up values that I'm going to tell you. They are
Hmm.
values that we refer to every time we meet. We have to make some decisions which are on the border, right? Do we
Hmm.
move this side or that side? And as a company, we don't want to deviate from these values. And
Okay.
this permeates like how do we bring growth? How do we build a product? And one of those values is we want to build the best product to solve this problem.
Hmm.
So yes, if two people match, yes, my engagement reduces. You're right. But
Hmm.
as a company at this point, we will continue to strive to bring you the most compatible matches.
Hmm.
And it's fine if you go,
Hmm.
because as I said, like our own engineer in our team, like 2 weeks into India launch, he met this girl, he started dating her. So both of them have
Hmm.
deleted the post, right?
Hmm.
And good for them. But the thing is, we are banking on word of mouth. We're banking on all the referrals that would come through that. Yes, these two people went away, but now
Hmm.
that girl, and actually, this engineer didn't tell me that he's dating someone on Schmooze. That girl
Okay.
reached out to me because she wanted to share her story, and she was like very happy that
Hmm.
she tried out a new dating app and it worked for her, where
Hmm.
while the other sucked. So now she said that she's gone. She ensured that her brother was on Schmooze. She downloaded the app and created a profile for him. She's got two
Hmm.
of her closest friends to be on Schmooze, and she's going to
Hmm.
do like a deal with us. Now the thing
Hmm.
is, yes, two people went, but that girl
Hmm.
got us 3 or 4 people, and this guy also has gone out and
Hmm.
told all of his friends. So like 2 people went, but 8 people are coming to the app. So um, that's how
Yes.
we are looking at it at this point. And also even going forward, we might, if as more and more positive cases emerge, we can change our branding to reflect how good the product is. And I mean, if we have to make money, our strategy has to revolve around our values.
Understood. That's fair. Cool. So, Vidya, now let's talk a little bit about your journey as being an entrepreneur, right? And I saw on your LinkedIn that you were quite a huge fan of cricket, and you started playing it while you were only 11 years old, right? So, can you tell us, like, has that whole experience shaped you in any way into a leader that you are today, or like any other things that you've done so far that has shaped you into a leader that you are today?
Oh my God, what a day to get this question. I'm thinking if I should give you the controversial answer or not. But anyway, let's dive right in. So, Shivani, yes, I mean, cricket, I give a lot of cricketing analogies at work even now. The thing is, I've been telling our team in India since we started preparing for our India launch that don't be like the Indian cricket team.
Okay.
And I mean, our Indian cricket team has so many stars, and I genuinely hope that I don't have to give this example after this World Cup is over. But we have so many stars, right, in the team. Batting stars, bowling stars, like whatever you pick, any domain you want. Our ICC rankings are dominated by our individuals from the team. But I am shocked that we always go to the finals, semi-finals of these tournaments and always lose. So my example to our team is don't be losers, don't be like them. Let's, I think the difference between success and failure is what you do between 98% to 100%. A lot of us have the potential, ability, and hard work to achieve 95% in anything. But, the problem is when you stop at 95%. When you're giving an exam, scoring 95% is fine. There also Indian parents want 100%. But when you're giving an exam, it's okay, 95% is good. When you're clearing cutoffs, fine. But when you're in battles like a startup, or say, you're playing sports, 98% is not good, right? 98, 95 is not good. There's the difference between an Olympics bronze and an coming fourth. Or like between a gold and getting silver. And who remembers the person who gets silver? No one. Do you know the second person to land on moon? No, right?
No.
So yeah, I mean, you'll remember who won the Cricket World Cup in 2011. You'll remember who won the Cricket World Cup the year after. You will not remember who was the runner-up. You will not remember who was, semi-finalist. Then why should we be runners-up and semi-finalists? So anyway, it's a very touchy topic for me. To a touchy topic because I've been obviously like most folks in India, huge support of the Indian cricket team, especially like when I have spent hours and hours on the cricket ground myself, playing for so long. Like been such a huge fan that just spent hours in front of the TV, right? And by now I'm like so done with this game and so done with all these players that if I look at Chennai Super Kings, it's not a great team, but they always win because they want to win. And I think that's what our Indian cricket team is lacking at this point. The ability to like just rise up to that, go from that 98% to 100%. And I hope that all of us collectively do way better than them.
Yeah, this whole point is going to be really controversial, but let's hope.
I know. I don't even know why I said this, but anyway.
It's okay to be honest about these things. When you yourself has been such a good cricketer your life, so I think it's fair. Okay, so let's move to the next question, Vidya. So, as a woman founder, like the quite mainstream view is that sometimes people like don't take you that seriously. I'm not sure if it has happened in your case, but it has. If it has, then can you like tell us how do you deal with like rejections if you face when you clearly see and identify a situation that I am not maybe being taken that seriously because I am a woman founder or maybe not able to communicate what exactly I want clearly. So if you face rejections in those scenarios, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, so I think like you've touched upon two things, right? One is not being taken seriously and face rejections. Both are separate. I think like everyone faces rejections, men, women, whatever. Um, I think as far as rejections are concerned, um, I really feel it's very important to keep going. And previously when we were talking about the Indian cricket team also, um, the Australians, they always come back. And when you're playing against Australians, you know that the game is not over till the last ball. And I think in general, huge proponent of that attitude that the race is not won. Or I feel like a line that I came up with, which is my favorite, but I don't want to share that. Failure gives up if you fail to give up. So many times you realize that it is just about not giving up, that things like no's really convert to yeses, and you have stones converted into milestones, for just had a rhyme to it. But no, I think rejections we all face. I genuinely think across, like whether you're a startup founder or you're an engineer or you're a marketer, let's say you're a growth person, you'll implement 10 strategies, 2 of them will work. But I really think, especially for folks who are very young in their careers, it's just so important to always keep learning. Repeating your mistakes, yes, then come on, like then you're doing something wrong. But I would say after these episodes, very important to sit back, reflect, talk to your seniors, juniors, people around you, to understand what you could have done differently, so that you have a better version of yourself the next time. That's one. But coming back to the first part of what you asked, like as a woman being taken seriously, yes, I mean it happens very often, and it's very funny. I was giving a talk. I was invited to a college to be a guest speaker last week, and I was sitting along with 3-4 other speakers, and someone really high up in this particular college who was also joining us at the dais had come like backstage, and he asked me if I was the daughter of one of the people of the panel. He was like, "Oh, so you're accompanying your dad?" I was like, "No." So I think that obviously continues to happen. But I think, see, the different ways to deal with it. Many times I just like laugh and move on. When I used to play cricket, and I used to captain my side, and at the toss, or before the toss, there's one guy who said, ये टीम वाले तो अपने बहन को लेकर आए खेलने के लिए, लगता है इनके पास लोग नहीं है, and whatever, and we won that match. It's interesting. So these things have been happening, like I've been seeing them for a long time. But I think you can laugh and take it in your stride, and just let your performance, just let your work speak for itself. And I think you or I cannot change the society alone. There'll have to be many more of us. I hope, there have been a lot of leaders that I take inspiration from, female leaders I take inspiration from. I hope many of us develop into leaders that more people can take inspiration from. And I think when there are enough of us in roles that are, respectable, meaningful, then that mindset will change. I don't think mindset change can, like one person can fundamentally shake everything.
Yes, I think that's fair piece of advice, Vidya. So let's move to the next segment. So you have been working for quite some time now. You graduated in 2015 from Wits Pilani, right? And you have worked in some really good companies, have now been working as a founder yourself. So you have had the best of both worlds. You have worked as an employer and now as an employer as well. So can you tell some of the basic or maybe some fundamental characteristics that you look for in people while hiring? Because I think you have a very lean team at Schmooze as well, right? So just share a few things that that are like a no-brainer for you and non-negotiables for you when it comes to hiring.
Yeah, absolutely. See, one thing I actually have in the door, which is in front of me, we write some of these core values, is ownership and honesty. I'll tell you what I mean. Skills is something I can help people with. Of course, I'm assuming like a basic level of intelligence and all of that. But skills is something Abhinav or I can help people with. We can say, think in this way, or change your thinking, guide you in many different ways. But what we can't imbibe in you or like help bring about as a change is that feeling of ownership. If there is
Yes.
a bug in the code, if a
Hmm.
user complains at midnight that this
Hmm.
product is like, so and so thing is not working, do
Hmm.
you care enough to open your laptop, make that change, and then sleep? Because
Hmm.
that change might take half an hour. But
Hmm.
if you don't change and if you're waiting for 9 a.m. the next day to come to the office and make that change,
Hmm.
dating apps are used a lot at night. Between 12 a.m. and 9, like in those 9.5 hours,
Hmm.
probably thousands of users have faced the same issue. So you had to make that call between that half an hour of sleep versus
Hmm.
many thousands of users suffering. So that's just ownership, right? Like if you think this is your company, whoever you are,
Hmm.
I mean, I said gave you the example of a bug, but whatever, like something in
Hmm.
marketing or something in design, whatever it is, do you care enough about your work?
Hmm.
और इज इट लाइक मैं विद्या के लिए कर रहा हूँ और और कर रही
Hmm.
हूँ और आई एम डूइंग दिस बिकॉज आई गेट पेड. Those are not the type of people we want, and that's the secret of our lean team. Everyone in
Hmm.
this team cares as much about this company, as much about the users as Abhinav or I do. So
Hmm.
ownership. And second thing I said was honesty. See,
Hmm.
things go wrong, we all
Hmm.
mess up. I
Yes.
forget, many people
Hmm.
forget. But the thing is, do you own up to your mistakes? Because if
Hmm.
you're not, and it's not just about mistakes, right? We do a lot of things well, we do some things not so well.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
having that intellectual honesty and low
Hmm.
ego, to go into a room and say like, hey, you know what, um, I had growth marketing at Schmooze, or I
Hmm.
had performance marketing at Schmooze. But I'm going to have an honest discussion on how well is performance marketing going. If
Hmm.
not, do I have that intellectual honesty and humility to say, let's have that discussion? If it's not going well, I'm happy to learn what to do. So intellectual honesty is the part that we are also looking for, because more often we do come across a lot of candidates who are always selling to us. I know this,
Hmm.
I know that, I know that. Come on, bro, like you have 2 years of work ex. How are you telling me that you know everything? If you know
Hmm.
everything, then you go start your own company, no? So
Hmm.
the thing is, we can't be sold things inside our own company. We need to
Hmm.
be intellectually honest so that we have the best solutions, we have the best
Hmm.
product from our side.
Yes.
And we can only sell to customers, we can't sell to teammates.
Yeah. Understood. Great. So, Vidya, before moving to the rapid fire round with you, one last question that I'm going to ask. It is more on the existential side. You can take it like that. So, if you just had to describe like what does Schmooze mean to you, maybe on a personal level, or like how the creation and the journey of this whole company has changed you, if you can just tell that a little bit.
I've definitely learned a lot about online dating, far more than what I knew before.
Okay.
Uh, in fact, it's funny, as someone, a very, very senior boss of mine, just texted me. We met yesterday, and he said, "I've learned so much about online dating now." So,
Hmm.
no, I think Schmooze at a very personal level, see, like humor-based matching is something both my husband and I believe a lot in.
Okay.
We both have a very strong sense of shared humor.
So you
Very,
guys
very
must
strong.
also share memes with each other all the
Oh
time.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we take pride in completing each other's jokes. We have a group just for two of us where we crack jokes, and if we remember, we are like, oh, we have to take note of our best jokes. So, I mean, very very close to obviously my own story, and and I think, like I told you about one of my teammates, every time there's a meaningful relationship that happens through Schmooze, that's
Hmm.
the happiest moment for all of us. You
Hmm.
asked about, you were talking about positive churn, right? Like when people leave the app and all of that. We take great pride in connections that happen through the app, and that's why, at a more deeper personal level, we really like it.
Hmm.
The other thing also that I didn't mention, dating apps at the core are designed to optimize for the top 2%. Top 2% of men and top 2% of women will get all the matches.
Hmm.
I'm not defining what top 2% is. Top 2% is how these dating apps define it. Now imagine a world where
Hmm.
Shah Rukh Khan got 50,000 proposals to get married to people with.
Hmm.
Okay. And let's say Aishwarya Rai got the other 50,000.
Hmm.
But both of them probably can like only date one person.
Yes.
Now, what about the remaining whatever 49,999 people?
Hmm.
Now, actually, in this world, there is someone for everyone, and that's the belief we have at Schmooze. So,
Hmm.
don't follow any of this typical dating app philosophy that you keep showing that one girl or one guy to everyone
Hmm.
in that quest to increase that desire of people where they feel I want to get matched with him or her. In that desire, they buy so many things and whatever. We believe that there is something called compatibility. If Shah Rukh was not a hero, probably he's not compatible with 49,999 people at all.
Yes.
And we just want everyone to find their Shah Rukh. So,
That's
so
nice.
So because of that philosophical belief, we really like it every time this bet works for us.
Plus, you also get to keep up with Gen Z's trending memes and all the time. You are never behind on that also.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. So Vidya, now let's move to the rapid fire round. Okay, we will just have the 3 questions for you, and you just have to tell me whatever comes to your mind first. Okay, so we'll just start with which is your favorite book, which is like your go-to book that you always end up going to.
My favorite book. I know there is one. I'm trying to think what it is. Actually, more than my favorite book, why don't I? Every time, like whether I'm sad or happy, if I'm like I have deep doubts about something and stuff, I just go and search for Indra Nooyi, by the way. And I have probably listened to many of her videos many times. I can probably like recite what she said verbatim, but I don't know, for some strange reason I do that.
Okay, so my next question was going to be about who is your favorite founder, but I think you sort of have made Indra Nooyi as the same. Or if you want to maybe share someone else, you can also do that.
So it was interesting. I was in my eighth standard in school, and I had won the state level science exhibition, which is like supposed to be a huge deal and all of that. And we had I think our school had never won anything before that. So our principal was like very happy. He said, I'll take you guys out to eat and whatever. And that day I remember, obviously this is like my 8th grade is way back in the day, so no YouTube and stuff that worked. So I literally rushed home. I told my principal, it's fine, like you can keep your treat, I have to go home. And I actually went home because there was the Economic Times award ceremony, and I think Indra Nooyi was speaking at that event, and this thing was supposed to start at some 8:30 p.m. and our prize distribution ceremony in whatever that place was in Bombay ended by 7:30. So I said, if I come out for dinner and all with you, this thing is not going, I'm going to miss it. So I think that's the time since that's been the length of when I've been following Indra Nooyi. And no, I think she's broken so many glass ceilings for so many of us, right? Like it's interesting that United States of America prides itself in being so open and equal in terms of opportunities and all of that. But they've never had a woman lead a company of that size. Actually, they've never really seen a female CEO of a large corporation. And that female CEO turns out to be an Indian woman, which is like even more commendable. I mean, she's obviously had to break through so many more things than probably a woman from US of that time, right? Like American origin of that time. So I think definitely huge inspiration. And not a founder, but I mean I do take a lot of inspiration from her journey.
Okay, great. So last question would be, what is that one tech trend that you're most excited about? Could be anything, AGI, crypto, blockchain, anything that you're most excited about?
I I wish I can give you a trend, Shivani. I mean, obviously, artificial intelligence has huge potential for the future. But you know what? I start running away from industries when people start calling it trends and hyping it up, because it almost feels like trends exist for 6 months, maximum 1 year, then they go off. Like, um, crypto starts, then there is crypto winter. Now we'll start hyping up something, then it will go off. I think many of these blockchain is here to stay as a technology.
Yes.
AGI is here to stay as a technology, but many of these things will develop over a period of time, and they need to be given both the amount of time, money, and talent to convert them into useful technologies that can solve real problems for the world. And I hope that these hype cycles don't take the attention away from the core problem.
Definitely. Yes, I think that's great insight. So these are the questions, Vidya, I had in mind. Thank you so much for taking out time again to do this with us. I'm sure people listening to you, especially women, take inspiration from you and start applying in their lives as well. So yeah, anything else that you would like to share? Any sort of wisdom that you would want to share with women who want to get into entrepreneurship, who want to challenge the status quo, anything like that?
Yeah, I think just one line which I take very seriously, which I love to share with anyone I know. Don't take no for an answer. And this is more, I would like to share it more particularly with women, because you keep hearing this often, acha ladki ho, ye nahi ho paega, and whatnot. I remember one of these years, we had more female Olympic medal winners for India, in probably the last year, than we had men, right? And it's not that in India we encourage sports particularly for women. No, we don't do that. So I think definitely not take no for an answer, because people give opinions based on their limited worldview.
Yes.
Even if that worldview is larger, okay, fine, not limited, more, but it's still, even the broader view they have is still limited to what they have seen and what they know about themselves or what they know about you. So I think, like, dream big and never take no for an answer. Put in the amount of effort and be strategic about how you want to pace your effort, but you are your own, you are the one who is limiting your own possibilities of what you can achieve. Don't let others ever say what you can or cannot do.
That is great. That is great piece of advice, Vidya. Thank you so much again, and we wish you all the best for your future endeavors and also for Schmooze. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That is it for today's video, guys. I hope you all found it extremely insightful with Vidya. We will be bringing more such guests in future. What kind of questions do you want us to cover in our discussions? Do let us know in the comment section below. Till then, keep learning, and if any of you are interested in learning coding, go to our website and take the aptitude test. The test will definitely help you in identifying which course is best for you, be it MERN Stack and Java Full Stack. Both the courses have amazing instructors and mentors to help you throughout your journey. So do make sure that you check out the link provided in the description below. And if you guys are new to the channel, then don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you're always notified on all our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you in the next one.